So you posted a sentiment the other day, which definitely resonated with me, which, and I'm paraphrasing, was about how Aikido is not just a martial art, but it's a personal quest that you undertake to become the best version of yourself. How do you feel that our dojo, Aikido of Charlotte, fosters that?
One thing in our dojo I think that really separates us from other schools, and a lot of people say this, but truly the culture of what the dynamic is of each student relationship between each other, as well as the relationships with the teachers and the students and the teachers with the teachers. It's very, very unique. I haven't seen anything like it in a lot of other schools, a lot of Aikido schools. So this continued effort to develop yourself and be the best version of yourself in your practice starts with the fundamental experience of the relationship between the people in the school. So it's not just technique, it's not just, see how hard we can go, see how fast we can go, see how good we can get physically. All that happens over time and practice, but where we can go with our relationship as friendships develop, as people become mentors and mentees, and just becoming a better person in the spirit of Aikido. That's really what I'm talking about. Even myself, I feel like I was way less patient in life 15 years ago than I am today. Maybe some of that's age, but I feel a lot of it is in the Aikido training. And I've become more experienced teacher, you have to become more patient. And you know that too, because you've been teaching for a long time in your background. You do a great job here sharing your weapons experience. Tying into that, what do you think is the difference when you're a student in terms of being the best version of yourself to a teacher?
Sure. I think a big component of that is why students come in the door to begin with, and then more importantly, why do they stay, especially here? Why do they stay? I think that no one sticks with Aikido or sticks with weapons training because they're legitimately day and night concerned about being cornered in a dark alley by some ninja thugs. I think it's nice to be able to take care of that if you can, but I think really the point is feeling like you are a more productive citizen in and out of the dojo. And what does that look like? It looks like being more at harmony with other people in every context. It looks like bringing the best out of other people, both in the dojo and outside in the world. It looks like having joy, in your practice and in your daily life. And I think that all of those things are kind of the driving force within our dojo.
Yeah, I think it, like any organization, it starts at the top and funnels down. So I think, what I learned from Main Sensei, just about how to treat people and how to be compassionate and just kind-hearted and just a nice person. It starts there, believe it or not. It ties to the etiquette, because when you're that way and you're non-confrontational, then when you want to explain to the students why we do things like this, and here's the reason, and here's the semblance, and here's the order, and here's the purity of the art and the true spirit of Budo, it sticks, because it doesn't feel like a militaristic relationship. It doesn't feel like do this because I said so. People want to do it without being told. They want to be the best version of themselves, especially in etiquette in this dojo. And that continues on in the weekly practice, where we talk about ways to improve. We go over etiquette points almost after each class, because we have a lot of new students. But I think that's truly the spirit, because as we all have heard this expression, good is the enemy of great. And while there's a lot of dojos and we do a good job, we want to do a great job. And it takes a constant effort, and until you build those habits up to it becoming just like breathing, where you don't think about it, that's really the mission here. So I think the reason that it occurs is because it's on everybody's mind. Everybody knows it's our culture. It's talked about, it's experienced. It's, the teachers have great etiquette, so of course the students do. And, I just remember going to seminars early on, and I think, and this as a teacher, your students want to make the teacher proud. It's kind of this feeling you have to show that you've learned and you've been taught well. So, that's something we look at too, is how do people carry themselves outside the dojo when they have a patch on that says Aikido of Charlotte? How do they project themselves to other students when they travel, to other teachers, to other dojos? Because as you know, there's so many ways to do things. There's so many ways to do etiquette in Aikido. There's so many ways to do the technique, and they're all valid. And how you act off the mat is very important to us, especially if you're somebody that wants to be considered for, Shodan rank. What still keeps you coming back to this day, especially to this dojo? What do you look forward to each time you walk into the dojo?
The people. It comes back to, we're here to learn from each other. The techniques are important, but the people are the art. And I think that, Aikido has a certain magic to it, and the magic is not in repelling attacks, it's in drawing good people and making them better. And I think that, that's a difficult addiction to grapple with once you have it. So I think that watching people come into the dojo and take their first roles and execute their first techniques, and then seeing them come up through the ranks, seeing their art develop, and seeing their personalities harmonize, that's a hard thing to let go of. And that's definitely what's kept me coming back.
I look at lessons of practice. I remember certain seminars, getting experience or exposure to certain Shihan, about 17 years ago, and then some of them now, and the relationships I have with those people, which then was a student, now is a school owner, and more experience. So there's the practical lessons that I remember. I'll just real fast, I remember it was my second seminar in Boone, North Carolina, with Rodney Grantham Sensei, who's a major pioneer in Aikido. Passed away, I think, 10 years ago or so. But I remember him teaching, 2 attackers on one with double Mudo Tatori, and concluding with a Sankyo and Yankyo. I never forgot that. I thought that was the coolest thing I'd seen. Of course, I'd been on the mat maybe 4 weeks. I think I went to 2 seminars in the first 5 weeks. The third seminar I went to was winter camp. And I went by myself, and airfare and hotel and seminar fee, and it was a big financial commitment, but it was just an awesome experience because I got to meet Peter and Penny Bernath. I saw Yamada Sensei for the first time, and that was just amazing. I vividly remember watching the black belt tests, just sitting in the bleachers. I can't remember what kind of rec center this place they had it at, but watching the black belt tests, and I was just in awe. I was like, I want to be there one day. I want to be on in that seminar doing a test like that. That's what I remember. And as far as the life lessons, trying to remember back early on, because again, in the beginning, it's really more about just getting on the mat and doing physical Aikido. Just show up, just train hard, be a good partner. Don't challenge your nage and resist. I remember that. Just go with the flow, relax. I was taking advanced falls in 4 or 5 months. I was uking in the class, so I remember how important that was if I wanted to get up from the technique, because it was pretty intense. So I remember that, and then I would say as relationships develop and grow, just my relationship with Demko Sensei growing over the years, and hosting him in my house many times and spending time with him at seminars, at winter camp and summer camps, and having meals with him, and just hearing stories from, when he started 50 years ago, and the progress, his dojo's made. So those are the real memories that I think stick the most.